Welcome, 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 everyone. This is Tracy Wagner with Versatile Inspirations, and today we are going to be diving into the realm of the causal chakra. So just give me one moment while I screen share, and we'll get right to it. All right. Always gotta jostle things around. All right, so like I said, today we are going to be diving into the realm of the causal chakra. So where is the causal chakra? The representation that you're seeing on the screen right now is of the full chakra system, the major chakra system, I should say, because even amongst all of those major chakras, there's tiny chakras all throughout our being, whether it is the body, the subtle body, or it is the transpersonal realm, which is outside of the body. There's tons of tiny little chakras, but we're focusing more on the major chakras so that we can kind of tap into those. Once we tap into those major chakras, all the little ones, they kind of do their own thing, but all those little ones will actually start firing off as well, even more so, and helping the more major chakras. But for today, we're talking about the causal chakra, which is part of the transpersonal chakra system, which is outside of the body. And it is with the complete transpersonal energy system. So the causal chakra is right here. It is about 2 to 4 inches towards the back and up from the crown chakra, or the top of the modern skull shape. So what does that mean? That means the modern skull shape. Why do I say that? Because it was at a time within the elongated ancient skull, and I will give some representations of that later on in the presentation, but back in the times of the Mu or Lemuria and Atlantis, and even we're finding some of the skeletal remains in lots of ancient civilizations. Their skulls were elongated. And so with that causal chakra is actually within that structure. So if you can imagine, just from your forehead, and instead of going back and around, what it did is it kind of went up and around and was kind of a elongated shape. So what can we do with the causal chakra? Well, what I tend to think of these top transpersonal chakras is it's kind of like a funnel, and we know what a funnel is. It goes from big and it kind of siphons it down into a small area so that it can go into a smaller structure. Like if you have a big bottle of fluid and you want to put it into a tinier container, then use a funnel to actually siphon it down so that it'll fit into that tinier container. But I take it one step further. I think of this funnel that can go both ways. One, we can have the information that comes from source, from spirit, and it siphons down into our being. So along with that, what we have are these layers, and it's interesting because the layers help to decipher or translate information. So the first layer has a filter. The second layer has a filter, and the third layer has a filter. And like I said, it can go either down so that all that information gets siphoned down into us, or it can go the opposite way. So all the information we have gets siphoned up into divine source. What does that mean? That means actually that when we are in human form, what happens is the information that we put up into source may be a little jumbled. Why? Because divine source and spirit is pure love. There's no animosity, there's no anger, there's no frustration. All of that is our human emotions and our ego mind. So when we go through the filters and this funnel system, each chakra, transpersonal chakra, has its own filtering system, and the filtering system gets less of that ego mind and less of that ego mind to where there's no ego mind. It is pure love and light. And Divine Source can read that information and clearly process that information. And with the causal chakra, that's where the manifesting begins. The causal chakra is all about manifesting what we're desiring earthly. So it is like our manifesting hub. And so with that filter, what happens is it goes from our being and it processes that information through that causal chakra. And that filtering system will allow the ego to be ego-less, not completely void of ego, but just more ego-less. The less ego that is in there, the better the information is to get to Divine Source. So with that, it kind of siphons out what we're really trying to get at. It is our causal chakra, your very own causal chakra, and because it knows what you want, it knows what is best for you, and therefore it will decipher what you're asking for and bring about that in a way for you specifically. I'm sure you've heard that if it's not of your highest and best good, it's probably not going to come to you. But what I say is if it's not of your highest and best good, the way that you put it out, your causal chakra has a tendency to filter out that noise, that ego noise, and allows for the more pure form of what you're asking for. Now, with that, it also, the universe doesn't give it to you always in the way that you're expecting. And with that, what I think is because that filter is in place so that the less of an ego mind is going through to Divine Source, then because of that, it comes to you and you're perfect and highest good. It comes to you in the way that is best for you. We may not always recognize it. That's why it's so important to be open and to be mindful of what's going on around you, because it may come to you in a way that you never expected. And we need to be open to that little bit of a difference in how we asked it. Because remember, Divine Source is all love and light. It is all good and for our highest being. Even though we're here on earth, we still deserve that highest good, and we'll get that as long as we're open to those ideas coming to us or those situations coming to us in a manner we may not expect. Doesn't matter what you're trying to manifest, it's going to come to you in a way that is of your highest and best good. So the filters are there for your highest and best good and for help in translation. Now, just like going up with all of our information, which is the second funnel with all the information we're sending up, it also comes back down in that way. So the information from Divine Source gets funneled back down into us through those filtering systems that are in place so that we can understand a little bit better of what it is that Divine Source is asking us to do or what is coming from Divine Source. Those filtering systems are in place for our highest good as well to receive that information, because without those in place, the ideas and situations and things may come to us maybe a little jumbled. We may not understand them as well, and those are filtered so that we can understand it better while we're here on earth. Once we're back in spirit, then it all becomes clear. But for now, since we are on earth, that is our help to translate that information that we're receiving so that we can go forward and do our best work and show our gifts and messages with the world. So that's why that funnel system is in place. Now, the other two levels are our soul star chakra and our stellar gateway, which I'll be making future videos to talk about that a little more. But just for now, we're talking about the causal chakra. And what I was talking about earlier about the ancient skulls from Lemuria, Mu, and Atlantis and other ancient civilizations. So here's a actual skull that has been elongated. I wish there had been a side view, but you can kind of see that definite structure here. It's a little longer and higher, so it's a bit higher, but that's what that looks like. Now, here is the best picture that I could find for even just, I mean, she looks kind of like an elf, like a cosmic elf. But the structure, you can see it a little bit more right here. It is elongated, it's higher, and the causal chakra, even though if you kind of round out her head here, the crown chakra would be about here. And then the would be about where it is on us. But then the causal chakra is going to be to the back and up higher. You can also see it's very interesting. She put her third eye on there, which is pretty cool. So, which they used a lot of their third eye. One other thing that's very interesting about the causal chakra, because it was inside the ancient skulls, they were able to do a lot of astral projection or a lot of astral traveling. They could think of a place, they could think of a time, they could think of a universe, and they can travel there. For some reason, that causal chakra being within that skull structure, what allowed them, and probably because they used it more, because they weren't thinking that there are other causal that the causal chakra was outside of their body, even their subtle body. They were thinking their causal chakra was inside, and because it was a transpersonal chakra and is a transpersonal chakra, it allows for the outside for you to become outside. So it helps you to astral project. So the more that you use your causal chakra, you're able to do the same as the ancients did. You'll be able to astral project. Now, you do it in dream time without even knowing it, because your body is in a relaxed state. Your true self, your soul self, because it's connected to spirit, knows you are capable of more than what you're doing. It knows that you are capable of traveling and becoming whoever, whatever, and to wherever you are wanting to go. If you have a very vivid dream of being in Paris, or of becoming a dog and traveling the countryside, or of being a bird and flying, or even just being yourself and flying, or being in your body yet being in a different world altogether, you are astral projecting. A lot of times those vivid dreams happen when we're in a state of astral projection. We are in a deep state, sometimes in a light sleep, depending on where our bodies are at the time and how long we've been asleep for. But we can astral travel at anytime. You can be laying in bed just taking a nap, or you could be meditating, and your body, your astral body, your just actually goes wherever it wants to, wherever it thinks it needs to be, or wherever it really wants to go. You can astral project. And it's an amazing, wonderful thing to be able to harness that. And so by working with the causal chakra, you will be able to, and start by manifesting. Just manifest little things, or manifest, here's one thing that you can do, manifest a parking spot at your grocery store, or anywhere that you go shopping. Try that on and see how that works for you, because it is an amazing gift to be able to manifest. And just remember that with the law of attraction, or manifesting, action equals attraction. And we have to be doing in order to be able to receive. And so by making room for the manifesting to occur, even just driving, because you're looking for a parking space anyway. So if you just manifest that parking spot, then even just sing it in your mind's eye, just try and manifest that parking spot for you, that perfect parking spot, and see if that works for you. It's amazing. It's fun. And the more that you work with that causal chakra and manifesting, the easier the astral projection will be. Also, if you, let me quit that, stop share, there we go. Also, if you are thinking of a place, try and think of that place very vividly before you go to sleep. Or if you're wanting to have a visit from, or you want to go and visit maybe someone who's back in spirit, then just think of that person and think of the area or the place that you would like to meet up with that person, and see what happens. A lot of times people will have dreams of meeting that person that's in spirit in a beautiful location, somewhere that they pictured in their mind, and it will feel so real, because it is real, because you are spirit having a human experience. And because you lay down that ego, or that feeling of, I don't want to say helplessness, but not being able to do what you want to do, or not being able to do things that seem like miracles or seem like they just can't happen, by laying that down and just easing that thought, you'll be able to do some wonderful things. You'll be amazed. So I hope that gave you a little bit of information about the wonderful realm of the causal chakra. Next time, we are going to be talking about the soul star chakra and the realm that it lies within. I would love to hear what your experiences are with the causal chakra, or with anything that we've been talking about. Go ahead and send me an email at tracy@versatilinspirations.com. The links are down below the video, and you can just send me a quick email, or you can visit me on the web at any of the locations down there too. Thank you for spending some time with me today. I so appreciate it. As always, I'm sending you and yours love, light, and eternal blessings. Take care.